everyone, it is Andrea and today I'm coming at you with yet another board game video. Like I said, it's my new personality type and I hope y'all are here for it. I am going to be doing, and also Hannah is, so I'll leave Hannah's video down below. We're putting this up at the same time, so check out the description, and also in the description I will list all of these games. But we decided to start tracking our plays on an app. I will leave the app link down below. It is called BG Stats, and we have all of our January stats. Some of them we played together, some of them we played apart, some of them I played solo, some of them I played with just Nick, but we will go ahead and get into the different games I played this month. The one thing I want to know though is, in future months, do you want me to give you a rundown of the games or just the new games I played? I can still tell you I played Tiny Towns 47 times, but do you want to hear all about it, or because it was talked about before, we'll skip it. So, because this is the first of this series, which is great that it started on January, we are going to be going through every single game. Some of them I don't physically have here, so I'll put a picture up. But the first one, which I will be going in the most played to the least played, and the first one is Tiny Towns, which I did play 16 times this month, which seems like a lot, but a lot of those were solo, which I do very much so enjoy this game solo. It also does have expansions that are available. I think there's 2 of them. I ordered that, and I think that there was also a promo card pack I ordered, which I will link those down below because I am obsessed with Tiny Towns. The name of the game here is you have your own little 4x4 grid and you are building a town by collecting, there's a little fuzz, collecting resources, and it is such a fun game. It is my favorite game of the month, which is perfect because it is also my most played, but I'm just in love with this game, and anytime I see a game that looks kind of similar, I'm like, oh, Tiny Towns, it's perfect, and I want to buy all games like this. So if you like Tiny Towns, let me know in the comments down below if you have any other game suggestions, because this is a favorite, and again, played it 14 times this month, a fave. The next game, I don't have a physical thing to show you, but it is Betrayal, and I was wrong. So I watched a how to play on this as well as a gameplay, and this game is very, very fun, but I was not excited to play it. I was like talking SHIT to Nick, and I was like, ugh, I can't believe I have to play this game. It looks so boring. It looks like a genre I'm not into, even though I've never tried anything like it, so I was just talking out my butt. The gameplay that I watched, there's different like types of scenarios. There's like, it's kind of like a 2-part game where in the beginning you're building the house, gaining some weapons and omen cards and things like that. And then the second part of the game, it is you're trying to figure out the traitor and like kill them, or you know, there's just so many different scenarios. There's like free-for-all scenarios where you're just going after each other. There's like secret traitors. There's the traitor is the person who rolled the omen card. There's just so many different things. And the gameplay that I watched, it was a secret traitor. And I just feel like that would probably be my least favorite option out of all of the options that there were. So I think that that's kind of why I was like, I don't know about this game. But we played it and I loved it. It was amazing. We played it 4 times, and the 3 first times, I was the reason why we won, and just pat myself on the back here. I was amazing. I was amazing. But the 4th time, Chris was the traitor, and Chris has been always mad that I won every single time, or was the reason why we won, and he eliminated me within like the first 2 turns. He was like, had eyes for me and was like, you're going because you're gonna help everybody win, and I was gone. And then I went and watched How to Play on 7 Wonders, which we played after that. But I love Betrayal. I think it was so fun. Again, if you have any suggestions for games like that, ugh, it's just so good. The next game I have to talk about is Here to Slay, and Here to Slay is a card game. It is by Unstable Games, which there's going to be a lot of games from Unstable in here, some that I love, some that I didn't love, and this is a really good one. This is one of Nick's favorite games, and this is very similar to Unstable Unicorns if you played that before, but this has just a little bit of a different like turn order, and then also you can slay dragons, so you have to collect a certain amount or slay dragons, which is kind of nice. This has led to a lot of arguments in this house. You know, sometimes games do. It's very, very easy, and it's something that you can play with a lot of players, which is really nice. But Here to Slay, we played 4 times this month. I'm surprised we actually didn't play it more than that. I feel like we did. but here's slide. The next game that we also played 4 times was Parks. I believe maybe 2 of those times I played solo, and Parks is such a fun game. It kind of is one of the first games that I've gotten on this modern board gaming journey, and I am obsessed with it. I love everything about the components and the box and the art and the gameplay. It's like a very peaceful game, but very fun. You kind of don't, it's like one of those games you don't know who's winning until the end, really, like unless somebody was like really just blowing everybody away. But such a fun game. Again, you can play this solo. I really liked it solo. It was very easy to learn the solo mode of this, and I thought it was really fun. Love Parks, and Parks got me into all of the Keymaster games, which I do also have a few of those. And I did do a whole Keymaster haul because I am just obsessed with everything they put out. Everything is so well thought out and themed and very like unique, but sometimes shares the same mechanisms as other games in their library. The next game here is Cascadia, and Cascadia is probably my second favorite game. I would say this and Parks is basically tied for me. I did play this game 3 times this month, and I am obsessed with it. This was probably the most anticipated game for me to play. The next one was Splendor, which I feel like this one definitely delivered a little bit more than Splendor did, but Cascadia is so fun. From the front, it's not really, with the elk in the wilderness, is not as like cute as Parks when it comes to like the wilderness nature vibes, but this is so fun. It kind of reminds me of Tiny Towns in a way where you are like this one's collecting tiles and animal tokens and placing them, but it's similar in my mind because you are kind of trying to meet these conditions of these cards, which reminds me of Tiny Towns. I feel like every time we try a new game, there's always somebody who's like, yeah, it was fine, or like, I liked it, but whatever. But everyone was like really hype on this one, so that was really exciting as well. But this one I also really like because it does have different levels of cards, so I feel like whenever we're starting to get bored of it and we're like, oh, this is too easy, we could just level up on the cards. I also haven't played this solo, but you can play it solo, and I will be playing it solo because that sounds so fun. Hannah also mentioned that this would be a really easy one to travel with because there's really not a lot to it once you open the box, but I love Cascadia. I think that this is a game that anyone could play and anyone would fall in love with. It's just a really peaceful, like little bit of thinking, but not too wild. But yeah, this one is super fun. Another one we played 3 times this month is Happy Little Dinosaurs, and this is again by Unstable Games. And I thought this one was really cute. It is basically a glorified war type game, like, you know, the card game War. That's kind of the vibes for this one, is you're trying to avoid being extinct or reach the finish line, and there is just really cute little events that happen, and you're trying to avoid the different disasters, but it very much so acts as a like glorified war game. So I think Hannah didn't really like this one too much, but me and Nick liked it. We did play it 2-player and with 5 players because we do have the 5 to 6 player expansion pack. Nick and I both agreed that we did like it a little bit better actually with 2 players. There is a little condition section for 2 players, which is nice. Sometimes I feel that games that are like 2 to 4, 2 to 6 sometimes aren't great with 2 players, but I really like this one. It was very fun, very easy. Again, I just think anyone could play this game. Would anybody enjoy it? It has a little bit more of a party game feel with how quick it is, but I really enjoyed it, and I think that the dinosaurs are super cute. I also did buy expansion packs for this, so I'm excited to kind of toss those in and play with it as well. The next game here is Rivals for Catan, and I feel like no one really liked this as much as I did. I did play it 3 times. I've played it twice with Nick and once with Hannah. Nick liked it the first time because he was winning, and then the second time he wasn't winning, so he didn't love it as much. Hannah seemed kind of indifferent to it, but I personally loved this game. I really liked Catan despite the fact of like the theming not being very me. Whenever I like sat down and looked at it, I was like, oh no, but then I really enjoyed playing the game. So Rivals for Catan is a 2-player game. It's just 2, you can't play it solo, but 2-player, I thought it was really fun. It's a relatively easy game. Again, like the game Cascadia, there is different packs that are a little bit harder and kind of give it a little bit more variation. So we've only tried the basic pack, so I think putting the other packs in will make it more interesting, and maybe Nick will like it a little bit more. And I do agree that the like end game is very underwhelming sometimes, but I really liked it for just a like collecting resources, building out your city. There's like a little bit of like rivalry, like stealing resources and things, but nothing crazy. I just thought it was fun. fun. It was kind of like a little bite-sized Catan, so I really liked it. And I thought I think this is another one. It's a little more complicated than the ones I said are easy and everyone could play, but I do like kind of how simple it is with still having a lot of choices for what you can do. So that was Rivals for Catan. So now we're getting into games that I've played 2 times. The first one I don't have anything to show you, but it is Seven Wonders. Seven Wonders is one of those games that everyone says like, oh, you have to play, you have to play, you have to play. It's like kind of like a gateway game into the hobby. And I had watched, quickly skimmed through a how to play, and I was like, this looks boring. And then I looked through Duel and I was like, I don't know if this is for me. Kind of put it on the back burner, and then Hannah was like, I'm bringing it. And I'm like, okay. So like I said before, whenever I was knocked out of Betrayal in like 2 seconds, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go watch the how to play, because they were like, we're not sure, we haven't played this in a while. And I was like, all right, I'm a teacher. So I went and watched the how to play, and I was like, oh wait, this actually kind of sounds fun. So we did play this 2 times. I think I won once, and then maybe Chris won, or no, Nick won, Hannah won. I'm not sure, but it was really, really fun. It's another one that you don't really know who's gonna win till the end. And the first one, it was very obvious that I was gonna win. I had like a stack of coins. But the second time we were all kind of like, everyone had their own thing going on, which I think is fun. It's just a simple card game. It's very, very fast. So we did play it twice in one night, along with like 5 other games. But it was very easy to figure out once you kind of got going. I don't think you'd even need to watch how to play if you knew somebody who knew how to play it. Though I do think that the instructions are wildly complicated. So I think that how to play would be the best if like no one knows how to play it. But it was super fun, and now I'm kind of like revisiting the idea of getting Duel. Seven Wonders is, I believe, 3 to 5. Is it 3 to 5, or it's not 2? So me and Nick couldn't play it. So I think I might get Duel so that me and Nick can try it out, because I really did like it. I liked how you could kind of like, maybe you want to go for military, maybe you want to go for your wonders, maybe you want to go for the sciences, or maybe you want to do a little bit of everything. And it was just so fun, and it kind of has like some luck to it, but you do get a lot of choices, which I really, really, really love when a game, like, you can kind of like, all right, I'm gonna go to this, or I'm gonna do this, and you can kind of play different ways each time. The next game I played twice is Ugly Gryphon In. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but this is a little pocket-sized game from Button Shy Games. When I hauled this, I had already played it, so I kind of went into a little bit of a story about it, but the long story short is I did buy 2 Button Shy games, and I bought this one because I thought I would really like it, and I bought this one because I thought Nick would really like it. I ended up playing this 2 times, but honestly, I could see myself getting lost in this and playing it like 100 times. It kind of took me a second to like really get my bearings on how to play it. Not even how to play it, but like how to pay attention to all the things going on. But I actually ended up really loving this one a little bit more than Sproutless. And this one is a really fun, easy, quick game. It's 1 player only, where Sproutless, I'm pretty sure you could do 2 player. I did them both solo. But this one is a 1 player game where you have different guests in your bar, and then you're moving them into your inn, and kind of trying to pay attention to what irks the people in the inn, and if there is like any conditions that are met with the people in the inn. It's a very complicated game to explain, because I've never really played anything like it before. But once you get the hang of it, it's just kind of like a fun little puzzle. That's what I kind of think of these as, are like fun little puzzles. And I feel like I could play this little teeny tiny game probably over 50 times and still be like very excited about it. So that is Ugly Gryphon In. Next we have Splendor, which was my most wishlisted game whenever we went to go board game shopping, and I ended up getting this one at Target. They didn't have it at the board game store that we went to. But Splendor is super easy. Nick thought it was complicated. He said that this was harder than Cascadia, which I don't think that it is. So this is a pretty easy game in my opinion. It's another one of those gateway games that I feel like everyone says you need to try, or it gets people into board gaming. So you're collecting the resources to collect cards. The cards have victory points on some of them. Otherwise, they just give you like a permanent resource, and then you collect nobles and are just trying to get to X amount of points to win. I think it's like 13 or something like that. But I did play this with Nick, and I also played it with Hannah. I don't think we've played it as a group yet, which I think will be more fun with more people. So I am really excited to play this in the future. I think we might play it this weekend, question mark? I'm not sure, but I really did like it. I just felt like it was a little bit easy, but also I know that there is at least 1 expansion for that, and I'm also considering getting Splendor Duel, so that is always an option. The next game is Caper, and I think Caper is such a beautiful game. It is by Keymaster, and I just have a love affair with Keymaster. I think everything they do is so beautiful. But this is a game where you are kind of playing as thieves, and you are trying to rob 3 different kind of like monuments and collect stolen like goods, like there's portraits and diamonds and things, as well as make sure your thieves have the gear that they need, and you get more points for the different gear and things like that. And there's just a lot of, honestly, things going on. This is a really fast game. It's a 2-player only game, which I really loved that because it was very catered to 2 people. I did play it with both Nick once and Hannah once. Nick thought it was a little bit complicated with all of the symbols, but Hannah didn't have any issue. I didn't have any issue. You have one long board in the middle, and then it is like a pick and pass for the thieves as well as the gear. Another thing I really like about this game is that there's different sets of cards with different difficulties. So once we get kind of more acquainted with the game, which is the base is like Paris, we can move on to the other card decks that are a little bit harder. And I'm just really excited to continue playing this game, especially because it's a 2-player specific game. And I really, really liked it. And again, also liked how fast it was, so we could play multiple rounds of it if we wanted to. We'll just throw these 2 games into the same little segment here. We did play Unstable Unicorns Not Safe for Work 2 times and Unstable Unicorns 1 time. I love them both. I think that they're both super cute. Obviously, the Not Safe for Work is not for everyone. And I did mention in my haul that they do also have a kids version of Unstable Unicorns, which sounds really fun. They also have a ton of expansion packs for Unstable Unicorns. And it is probably the easiest, I would say, of the games that I showed today. Maybe Happy Little Dinosaur might be a little bit easier, but this one is very, very easy. But also, I feel like everyone loves this. I feel like everyone loves this and everyone loves Here to Slay. It's usually relatively fast. We usually like to play like a couple of more like complicated in-depth games, and then we'll throw something like this on the end or the beginning. It says it takes 30 to 60 minutes, but I feel like normally our games are under 30 minutes. So we love Unstable Unicorn. It's just like a nice party style game that is a little bit more than a party game. So, and also just love Unstable games. I feel like they just do a great stuff. Then we're gonna get into the single plays. The first one I have here is Sproutless Again by Button Check Games. And this one I thought I would really like because it is kind of like city building of sorts, but it's more like block building. You have all these different conditions on the opposite side of all of these cards, and then you play with the other cards. You could play it, I believe, with multiple people. And I don't know, it was fine. The first time I played it, I won. You win by having more points than the 3 numbers on the back. And I didn't even really try to win, so I think I was just a little bit disappointed that it wasn't harder. But also, again, I just consider these like little puzzle games. I do think I like the other one better. This is the more popular, I believe, of the 2. They have a ton of different games. But yeah, this one I just think wasn't totally for me, but I would try it again because maybe I just got some really easy conditions. The next game on the list, we only played 1 time. And this is another one I was not excited to play. I was not excited, y'all, at all. I was kind of broody about it. I was just not happy about it. But Scythe, oh my god, I loved this game. I thought it was so fun. I think that my main problem with board games is I cannot read directions or listen to somebody explain directions. And I think that that has like deterred me a lot of my life from playing board games, is because the directions, I just like, it just jumbles in my brain. And like, especially with Scythe, there was another one, Catan, I was just sitting there and this is my face. Because none of it goes in. It all just kind of bounces right off me. I don't get anything. So this was a hard start for me because I don't think I watched a how to play prior. I did watch a how to play after, just to kind of like hear everything said again, because it did take me a while to kind of get into it and understand the like individual boards along with the bigger board. But this is actually Hannah and Chris's. They let me borrow it because I wanted to try playing it solo. But I watched the solo variant, and playing as the like AI looks complicated AF. If anybody feels differently and thinks that I could handle it, please let me know in the comments down below. But I want to play this 2-player so badly. Hannah said that if Nick doesn't play it with me, that she will play it with me, which, thank you, Hannah. I don't think anybody else really wants to play this game besides me, which is funny because I'm the one that was like the least hype about it in the first place. But it is a fun game. I don't really want to like make all the pieces go all over the place, but it's a pretty big board. This isn't even my game, and I bought the like expanded board because I feel like that was the one thing that like playing with 3 people, the board was kind of small, so I did buy the like additional like board to make the backside board bigger because I just am so hype on this game, which it just doesn't look like a very me game at all. But I just thought this was so fun. You had so many options of the things that you could do. And again, like you just like the freedom to just do as you please. You could try and put all of your, you know, like, well, you wouldn't want to kind of go all in on one specific area of this, but you could kind of go more for popularity and military. You could go for more for like kind of, you know, diversifying the board. There's just a lot of things that you could do. And I just think that's so fun. I just want to like, I just love it. And I do think I want to get this because I have a feeling I'm going to love it. And I'm just gonna con Nick into playing it with me. It's definitely a little bit more of a complicated game, but oh, it was so good. And I think about it all the time. The next game I don't think about all the time. And if I think about it, I think about how much I didn't like it. And it is the one unstable game that I was just like, I don't think I'll ever play this again. And that is the last game today. And that is Wrong Party. This is a game that Hannah brought, and it is definitely more of a party game. It is like a pick and pass game that really doesn't have a lot of like, I don't know, there's like no excitement. I don't know, it was just kind of dull. So you basically have your hand and you're trying to make a party in front of you, and there's different conditions of the single card in the middle. And you're trying to like match up the likes and dislikes, and you like are picking a card, passing a card around until you don't have any cards left, and then you flip them all over. It's just like really, he knows what I'm talking about, where it's just like not exciting. Like you're flipping them over and it's like, okay. And then you just like add up your points and then it's done. Like it's underwhelming. It's underwhelming. I felt like it was just kind of boring. It might be fun if it was just like you're at a party and like everyone's just hanging out and talking and this is just what you're doing with your hands. But otherwise, I did not like it, which is the first unstable game that I didn't like. I don't love all of them, but I really didn't like this one. It's actually one of the first games that I didn't like, period. And I thought that I would like it because it's unstable, and I just think everything that they do is super cute. But I think it was just a party game. Just a party game. That's it. So that is everything I played for this month. I hope y'all like this video. Again, I'm not sure how I'm going to format it in the future. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Do you just want me to talk about the new games I played, or do you want to hear about them all over again? Maybe I have developed a love for one in particular after playing it solo. Maybe I haven't played it solo yet. Let me know in the comments down below. But I hope you like this video. If you have any questions about any of the games, let me know in the comments down below. I will leave links to everything, including Hannah's video. And I will talk to you all in my next one.